Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see here. Good morning, good morning. Thanks so much for joining. Hey, everybody. Good morning. So, we're going to give it a second, but thank you all for joining, and I will not be keeping you long. So, I am excited to be sharing with you all today. Hey there. Good morning. Hey, Sherika. Hey, Dewan. How are you all doing? All right. Well, you know what? I'm going into corporate mode. To be respectful of everybody's time, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, first of all, good morning, everybody. I am here in Savannah, Georgia, and wanted to just tell you all why I'm here. So, a lot of you all know that I've been through a lot. And so, taking care of myself has been critical. And so literally I looked and said, where can I go that's not too far from Atlanta to just step away? So Savannah was a place that I could go to. Now, the inspiration for me to come here is because of Netflix. I know, Netflix and chill, right? But I was watching Chef's Table, and they did a feature on the restaurant The Gray. And it was so interesting to me because the executive chef is an African American woman from Savannah that traveled to New York, and just her story was so intriguing. I was like, I am going to Savannah, and when I go to Savannah, I am going to the Gray. Here's the thing, the Gray is booked 2 months in advance just to get reservations. But I was like, that's okay. I'm going to go to this restaurant anyway, and was fortunate enough to be able to get in for a party of one to be able to dine at the Gray. I saw the chef was able to take some really cute pictures. The staff was amazing. And so, that was really my motivation, and also to step away. I also got some questions about where am I staying. So typically, you can do your normal research through the Airbnbs and Sonder and all of those other vacation rentals. I went through Lucky Savannah Rentals. And so I'm staying in a very historic building on the second floor of this building. I picked the second floor because they don't have elevators. And so I did not want to be hiking the steps. So it's a super cute 1 bedroom apartment. If you go into my stories, you'll be able to see what this property looks like. And then also, I had been to Savannah before for St. Patrick's Day, which it is a big deal. So I don't really remember because I had such a good time. So that was back in my pre-hot girl days. Okay, so I wanted to come back and really experience the city. So one, I wanted to tell you that Lucky Savannah Rentals, that is the property that I used to find this space. And then also, Savannah is super walkable. So if you know me, I love to run, I love to walk, and I wanted to make sure that I really experienced Savannah in the best way possible. So I was able to purchase a ticket. One ticket for $20 allowed me access into 3 museums. And so they are extremely walkable. Probably the one that touched me the most was the Owen Thomas House and Slave Quarter. So you can look in my stories to see that under Savannah. And just really getting a deeper experience of Savannah was really something that I wanted to do. So yes, I said pre-hot girl days, like, all right, I love Jesus now, so mind your business. Another thing that I wanted to talk about are the squares and the parks, to kind of make sure that I was being mindful and being socially distant or physically distant. Going and doing all that stuff on Thursday and Friday was the smartest idea because, Saturdays people tend to really come down here and turn up. So Robin was smart and decided that's not what I was going to do. So that is Savannah in the nutshell. Before I leave today, I'm going to go to the Gray Market and get my last meal for the day before I drive back up to Atlanta. So that is Savannah. There is so much more to see. Some of the parks that I wanted to see were closed, visiting the Gullah Geechee people and really diving into the Black history. Some of those places weren't open. So there'll be another opportunity for me to come down and experience Savannah and a little bit of South Carolina. Okay? All right, so I wanted to start off with that. I see you all in the comments. Y'all know me. All right, so the inspirational nugget, because I know that people have a lot going on the weekend, and I really wanted this to be, 10 or 15 minutes, and I'm already into time, was talking about nurturing authentic relationships. And so March is coming on Monday, and I wanted to really share this insight with you so that you can start going into March thinking about how you can enhance your life overall. So I'll take a step back and say in February, I was strategic about nurturing authentic relationships. And so you may say, all right, Robin, we're in a global pandemic. How do I do that, right? How do I nurture and create authentic relationships? And so I'm going to share some practical tips on how to really create and maintain those authentic relationships. So one thing that I like to do is tell people to keep it simple. Find the common thread. Say it with me. Find the common thread. And whenever you're talking to somebody, you can always find a common thread, whether it's, oh my gosh, I went to an HBCU. Oh my goodness, I'm from California. You from Northern California. I'm from Southern California. Oh my gosh, I love podcasts and books. But find the common thread. Keep it simple, right? And then also prioritize communication. And I know that working remotely and things of that nature, we're kind of getting lackadaisical in that. But if you prioritize communication, I think that it'll enhance those connections. Be open, right? Be open. Every perspective is not the same as yours, but you're still creating an authentic connection. Show interest in people. Hello, show interest in people. Some of you all joined this live today. I really appreciate it. So you showed some interest in me. So show some interest in other people, and also create like a social bucket list or a calendar. Set up some strategic time to make sure that you are nurturing those authentic relationships. So you may say, okay, Robin, that sounds good. Find the common thread. That's really a key takeaway. Find the common thread. But what audience, what demographic do I need to start with to nurture these authentic connections? I got the answer for that. Start with the existing relationships that you have. That is the easiest demographic. That is the largest audience that you have. So be strategic about that. If you start with your existing relationships, you can start casting a wider net when you're trying to meet new people, because you're going to build your confidence, build your rapport, and build your cadence on connecting with people, right? So that's really important. You want to start with the existing relationships. And I'm looking at my notes, and I'll share with you at the end of this live how you can access my notes. But this is the perfect time to do it, right? We're in a global pandemic. We are physically distant. So, perhaps sending a card, right? Sending a text message, a call. People are a lot more open to receiving that type of communication because we're just not seeing each other like we would normally do. So start with that existing relationship. Reach out to an aunt, reach out to your granny, reach out to that existing network that you already have that you may not have reached out to in a while, and start tapping into those existing relationships to really start feeling comfortable about creating and nurturing those authentic relationships, okay? So you'll hear me say, find the common thread. That is critical. With any relationship, find the common thread. So really think about that as you're going into March. right? And so here's some strategic ways that you can go into March thinking about connecting with people. So in the month of February, because I can't speak from a place that I haven't done already, I strategically set time on my schedule or on my whiteboard to intentionally connect with people. And it was really whomever God dropped in my spirit to connect with, but also strategically, who did I need to connect with professionally or personally. And so I was intentional about, okay, February is the shortest month in the year. At least twice a week, I'm going to connect with one person personally, one person professionally. They didn't necessarily have to be on social media. Some of my friends, they don't have any social media platform, so I would just call them and we would talk on the phone for an hour. But really kind of finding that common thread. Around professionally, I was strategic about setting up coffee and chats with leaders or peers to make sure that we are authentically connecting, because we're so in work mode. You forget to say, hey, how are you doing? Do you have any feedback for me? Are there areas of opportunity? So I want to challenge you as I am wrapping up this live that March is coming. I want you to nurture the relationships that you currently have for 30 days. Okay, be strategic. As God lays people on your heart to connect with, write that down and say, okay, I'm going to reach out to so-and-so. Be intentional about it. It doesn't have to be an hour-long dissertation, but 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever their way of connecting. Really use those existing relationships to start leveraging and creating those authentic connections. And then finally, I want to make sure that you have access to the entire presentation. I was able to provide this presentation to a company out in Chicago earlier this month, and it was a longer presentation, but I want you to have access to it. So if you'd like to go on to poshpews.com, the presentation slides are already there. They're just 9 slides, but they really are thought starters about ways to connect authentically with people. So with that, I am going to wrap up. This was my very first IG Live. Oh my gosh. And so I decided to, do something different while I was here in Savannah. So I really appreciate you hopping on this morning. Hopefully, this inspirational nugget will be helpful. I'll be back to share some more from this same presentation and just making sure that we're all growing and enhancing in 2021. So I am excited. Make sure that you get out and take care of yourself. Everything, you don't have to be cooped up in your home. Just be smart about it. Go where it's safe. I love to solo travel, but hopefully the Lord will have some other things in mind, but that's okay. In the meantime, in between time, just making sure that I am doing my work and working on myself. So just use that inspirational nugget. Find the common thread. If nothing else you take away, find the common thread. And then, of course, Savannah is amazing. So if you want to see more of that, you can head over to my stories. I have a little Savannah, what do they call those things? Like IG whatchamajiggets. So if you look in there, you'll see all of my Savannah travels. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sherika. Thank you, Virgo, Simone. Hey, girl, hey. Everybody that jumped in, I really, really appreciate it. You all have a great Sunday. It is 9:45 here, Eastern Standard Time. I only wanted this to be 15 minutes. So you guys go have a fantabulous day. I love you all. And I'll see you in Atlanta later on this week. Remember, new month, new plan, new approach. Let's get it. Bye, everybody. Okay, how do I stop this?